The Phantom Muspah. Money Slug time! The setup that we're going to bring along is going to be the red dragonhide body, as well as the red dragonhide chaps. The usual adamant crossbow. We brought along Ava's assembler because we forgot we had the accumulators in the bank. And one of the main keys for getting through the fight, ruby bolts enchanted. For the inventory, the other key toward the end of the fight, sapphire bolts enchanted. Our usual emergency teleports, a range potion to help out our stats, the Ring of Dueling to be able to use the Ferox Enclave restoration pool, Ring of Shadows for my method to get to the Muspah. Before this I just used a Weiss teleport in my player-owned house. We will also have Blood Runes, Cosmic Runes, Natures, and Soul Runes. We need these as well as being on the Arceus spellbook in order to cast Ward of Arceus if we make mistakes, and one of the corruption spells. If you're not at 85 magic, bring death runes instead so that way you're able to cast the lesser corruption. Proportions of the runes being 1 blood, 1 cosmic, 2 nature, and 7 souls. But if you're under 85 magic using lesser corruption, it will be 6 souls. We're also bringing a backup stamina potion, prayer restoration, and combo eats for the rest of the inventory with a bonus Karambwan. I keep the stamina and prayer potion up here so that way they're separated out. These are the items I actively use in the fight, meanwhile these are the more passive items that can stay toward the bottom. On to the boss. This is the first guide I have not commentated live, purely because this boss fight still makes me nervous toward the end. So when we enter, I like to step in a few tiles and prepare to pray melee or range. Mine is blue, so range it is. We will see the brown form in a bit. I'll move in closer to place a spike near the middle of the arena when he changes forms, while staying over Mage Prayer as much as possible in case the Muspah wiggles. There's the wiggle, so pray Mage, then back to range after the 0 hits. Cast Ward of Arceus if it does hit you, since you'll be corrupted and lose prayer points if not. Here is the change into melee form. Move first, then change prayer at his form changes. If he hits you while he is moving, it will be a 0. 2 in a row without moving and you'll be hit through melee prayer. I mix full kiting with the step back technique here since I'm not great at the step back method. Just keep moving and shooting. In corners, click behind you before clicking to the side to make the boss move before he hits you a second time. I'm clicking a little late and getting hit, then misclick through the Muspah. Now I focus on just getting distance back and healing up. Back into rhythm. Another form change. Move, then change your prayer. This is his shadow attack. Just dodge the balls, they're slow. Muspah also doesn't attack during this, so you can save your prayer if you want to here. When the light comes back, you have time to find a safe tile and turn on prayer before he attacks again. Muspah will enter the same form he was in before the shadows, just keep fighting through his forms. Back to brown, so we're back to kiting. Changes into blue, back to watching for the wiggle. This darkness attack is just summoning chasing claws, easy enough to avoid, keep an eye out for the wiggle though. The claws are frozen, back to waiting on another form change, which is now. Just move and shoot while avoiding walking into the claws. I got lucky here to not step onto the claw, but you are able to tile skip over them if you're running. One final form change back to blue. The smoke cloud means Muspah's final special attack. Just stand behind claws to avoid the shockwave. Here is where we equip the sapphire bolts and cast corruption as needed to get through the shield phase. Otherwise, this is just a normal blue Muspah phase, and I'll position myself toward a more open area of his arena for the final part. Remember to cast Ward of Arceus if you don't successfully protect against his magic attacks. Move when you see the white spots on the floor to avoid the claws. I didn't hear, but it's fine. Switch back to Ruby Bolts. Attack Muspah through this final blue phase. Just watch for the wiggle to pray mage, white spots to move, and keep attacking. And there we go. With Muspah defeated, you have 30 seconds to get your loot and get out, or prepare for a secondary fight. I am leaving. Yeah, that boss still makes my hands sweat. With better gear, you'll definitely be having an easier time fighting the Phantom. My last tip is just try to control your nerves, since that is still my last struggle with this boss. If you have any additional tips or any further questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and have a good rest of the day, you guys.